Hello, everyone out there. Hope all of you guys are having a nice holiday so far. Today I have a wonderful special guest that is a friend of the channel. I love him. You guys know him. The real TOMBI is going to be here today. And we're going to have a very fun topic, especially since the Game Awards are over now. So might as well get started. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the real TOMBI.
Hello. How are we doing?
Hello.
Good evening. Welcome to me, the real TOMBI. How are you doing? How you doing, Scooby Pup?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, Santa?
I've missed talking to yourself and the rest of the guys. And the thing is that obviously we've tried to do this a couple of times, and stuff just keeps on happening. And it's the magic of real life, guys, where all good plans just are doomed to just fall apart at the last minute. But it's an absolute pleasure to be back onto the show and to hang around with you and see how you're doing.
I've been doing okay. I've been hanging out with my niece, working on a podcast, the refuse, all that good stuff. I think tomorrow I'm going to do a Silent Hill barcade, so that should be fun.
That'll be good.
Yeah, I'm finally getting back to Silent Hill F, and I'm sure people will love it because I used up all of the weapons in the location that I have, so I have nothing to protect myself.
Oh, so did you deliberately burn through all your weapons, or it's just the way the game's crumbled at the minute?
No, I think I didn't have any of the. I came across very few of the kits that'll help fix your weapons.
Gotcha.
So it's I'm screwed.
So what?
They're not very durable, and I had some really, really good weapons too.
So what you is there a base item that you can rely on, like a baseball bat or something?
I was using I was using the axe that I had,
Mm.
which was a which was like one of my favorites. And unfortunately, though, um, it it kind of well went to shit because I kept on coming across berserkers,
All right. Okay.
and we all know what happens when it comes to berserkers. They love to just fuck up your game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kept on coming across a lot of berserkers, which is not cool.
And what difficulty are you playing at the minute?
I'm just playing story mode because
Okay.
I've never played a Silent Hill game.
Yeah, it's probably wise, especially with things like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, to at least play it on story until you get the hang of it, and
Yeah.
then up the difficulty because you kind of like now know what to expect and how everything is gonna come up against you, the type of monsters you're gonna have to deal with. Each one has got a different way of combating them. Some are easier than others, and some are just brutal, especially when you go harder.
Oh yeah. The thing is about Silent Hill F is
That's the Chinese.
you can do story mode.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, you can change the how hard you want your puzzles to
Is that
be.
the Japanese Chinese character
Yes.
story? Yeah, got you.
Yes,
I know
Silent
which
Hill
one you mean
F.
now.
This is the one that's a return to the form. Return to form.
Yeah, because I think I watched Steel Leg playing it. I'm pretty sure I watched Steel Leg. He was playing it at one stage. I just haven't played it myself.
Yeah,
Maybe that's tech.
it's definitely worth um it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, definitely worth the investment. I've just been spending so much time playing Arc Raiders.
Yeah, I've been I I only have so much money.
Mm,
So basically for me it's like there's a lot of games I want to play, but
yeah.
I just can't. I can't afford them.
Did you see Hogwarts Legacy was free on Epic?
Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of it's Potter.
Mm.
It's not exactly one of my favorite as
I wouldn't say it's probably one of my favorite in terms of gaming genres or anything like that. Or the story's not too bad, but the one thing I do recommend to everybody is have a look across like your Epic, your GOG, your Steam, whatever the free games that are available. Because this stuff just appears out of nowhere, and it's like, wow, that's free all of a sudden.
but it's but yeah, it's been a good day so far.
Apart from the Army Navy,
Yeah, apart from the Army Navy game. In case you guys are wondering, I come from Maryland, the home of the Naval Academy, and every year there is a football game between the Army Academy and the Naval Academy, and it's the Army Navy game. It is a big deal over here in Annapolis, and they ain't doing so well. So they're making me very angry.
yeah, I was speaking before the show started, guys, and we have something very similar in a lot of our sports in the UK. We've got obviously the cricket, the rugby, the football, and generally it just ends up being army most of the time end up winning. The navy don't fare too well, but when it comes to things like you want to check out the field gun, the Royal Navy's field gun competitions because they are brutal. You see fingers get lost in those kind of games because they're running up and down with cannons and taking cannons apart, throwing cannons over walls, and then firing cannons when they're all reassembled at the end of the run. But I've seen so many fingers getting broken and get trapped between wheels and all sorts of stuff. It's such a brutal competition, but it's well worth watching. Happens once a year. during the summer months. I'll send you the link the next time the live event happens. But it's definitely worthwhile having a look on YouTube for Field Gun event, because it used to take place at basically my old Naval Academy.
But let us get on with the
Yarp.
shows. Yarp, yeah, yarp. We have the future. So the gaming awards have come and gone, and I apologize for the crappy photo, but yeah, the thumbnail place that I went to, they weren't very nice. Anyways, so far, as future-wise go, the Game Awards have come and gone. We've seen upcoming games. As far as tech shows go, we've seen what Valve has in store. We know what PlayStation has in store. We've known since the PS5 came out. It's sort of a tradition for PlayStation. They already say, oh, we're going to have a PS6 or we're going to have a PS7 or whatever. Every time they release a new generation, they always say, well, we're going to have another one coming out, but they never say when. Xbox, and of course, we know AI is going to be involved in everything. You said you saw the Game Awards. I don't know about you, but I was kind of happy.
Yeah, generally across the board, I was really, really happy Claire Obscure got the wins that it did, because it thoroughly deserved them. When it comes to the certainly the voice actors, quite a lot of the guys within the Claire Obscure team could have come away with it, but obviously Jennifer won that. I'm still flabbergasted, to be honest, that Ghost of Yotei was actually nominated for anything, especially the voice actress for the lead role. I really despise the way she acts. And the one, whilst Arc Raiders got the multiplayer game of the year, it should have won the audio game of the year as well. Battlefield 6
Yeah, that shocked me.
Has nothing compared to Arc Raiders. And anybody that's played Arc Raiders, when you listen to coming up towards the end of a round, and you start hearing the nuclear weapons coming in and exploding, to the point where the devs actually coded in the fact that you've got this explosion going off in the distance, and then you get a shockwave after. The audio within that and the kind of like the atmospherics from Arc Raiders is leap years ahead of Battlefield 6. So some of it, I started to look at it and I'm thinking some of these nominations just seem very flaky to me and without much credibility behind them. Because Battlefield 6, don't get me wrong, Battlefield 6 is okay audio, but I could have chosen two of the other games that were on that list that have better and far superior audio. But we obviously Claire Obscure coming away with the majority of the wins, which it absolutely deserved. Music was superb, and obviously those people that haven't yet played it, highly recommend you do so. The gameplay is superb. The story arcs are absolutely fantastic. It is one hell of a gut punch of a game, and it takes me back to some of the games we used to play when we were much younger, where everything was much better story driven, rather than just narrow-mindedly. There's the target, go and kill. There's new target, go kill that. And here's a new target, go and achieve this. It just winds it together so much better. So much better. Yeah, exactly. Gamer's Nurse. The crash out on X because Expedition 33 won. And you can see it on all their faces because it's the blue-haired Space Whale Brigade again. Because they were really upset, especially with Yotei, that Yotei didn't come away with some of the wins. And like, how can you compare? Yotei shouldn't have even been in the nominations.
And for our next topic, Tony? Thank you. What to expect as far as tech. So we all know what Valve has in store.
Yep.
More of the Steam Deck, more controller, VR.
Yeah. So there's a lot with regards to this. So you look at computers. I mean, the thing is, if you just separate it down into putting the Steam Deck in the console pile and the PCs and consoles just have the two avenues. And one thing that you'll notice certainly over the last decade, is there's been this massive push to use AI within the rendering pipeline for video games. Whether it's on PC, whether it's on consoles, it is all about trying to cheapen the process of gaming like frames per second. So all of the most recent NVIDIA GPUs you'll see have massive amounts of AI capabilities, whereas they've actually got a lot less rasterization capability. Previously, it was all about rasterizing games and generating frames based on the actual hardware, whereas now what we're seeing is that we're edging towards using AI to kind of like guess what the frame should be. And as a result, PC gaming is actually taking a hit in terms of its performance. Still miles better than consoles. But this is where I think we're seeing this kind of like deliberate ploy by the likes of NVIDIA, the likes of AMD, to cheapen the experience of PC to bring it closer to that of consoles, so that we can move towards this era where you're basically seeing this exactly the same kind of like chipset between any of the consoles. So you're on a level playing field. I mean, look at the last PlayStation 5, so the original PlayStation 5 and the most recent Xbox. They were basically exactly the same hardware inside, whereas the GPU is overclocked in one and the CPU is overclocked in the other. And it's like, at some point, it's basically all going to be a PC infrastructure kind of like framework in terms of how the device operates, because ultimately that's also going to make porting a lot easier from one console to another console to PC and to Stream Deck and to the stream consoles, all at the kind of like expense of what we've seen for the last 20 years as PC gamers, which is pure horsepower in terms of our graphics. Now, is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Remains to be seen. I've certainly benefited from some of the AI tech. How you doing, Tony? It's good to see you in the back end, mate. Certainly benefited from some of the AI leaps with technology. So I've got a 4090, which is superb piece of engineering tech from NVIDIA for graphics. But it can only do things like 2 times multi-frame generation, whereas the new 5 series from NVIDIA is doing up to 4. But a lot of that is fake horsepower. It's fake frames. So that's what you get. My prediction is over the course of the next 10 years, we're going to see more of that happen, where GPUs are more AI rendering engines. And that same technology is just going to be cut down in terms of how many pipelines are available or how many RAM chips are available and ported into your PS6, your Xboxes, your Steam consoles. Because ultimately it's going to be cheaper as an industry to move everyone towards it.
Yeah, gaming PC parts, they're not going to get cheap. They're just going to get more expensive. The thing is about the Steam boxes, currently the what we have as far as knowledge goes. Oh, thank you, Trunks.
saucy.
Oh yeah.
That was First Descendant, wasn't it?
Yes, it is. That
Yeah.
was I just that was Luna.
Yeah.
I think that's her
I
name.
haven't
Luna.
I haven't played First Descendant since right at the start. But the visuals are very good in that game and interesting.
Yes.
Anyway,
Well,
Trunks,
Chris,
thank you
that
very much
were
indeed for the gifted memberships there,
oh
sir.
yeah, the 5
Absolutely amazing.
gifted memberships.
Absolutely amazing.
You are wonderful, sweetie. Thank you so much. Yeah, can you imagine what that was like what that would be like if that was anatomically correct? Okay, that would be wow.
Mate, I would just yeah, I'd just be walking around with my jaw down.
I
Amazing.
can't think I would lose count to the amount of guys who would be so bricked they wouldn't go to any other game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was before as I was saying before Trunks dropped that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gifted membership. What's sad about the Steam box is from what we know right now, from what they've told us, is one, they're going to try and price it like a PC,
Yeah.
which is not good because PCs are expensive. And two, the specs are similar to that of a base PS5. Which in that case, if you want those types of specs, you're better off just going out and getting a PS5, which is inexpensive, will get you the better stuff. And on top of that, you can do more with it. Like you can add more gigs to it. I mean, you can personalize it a bit more. That's the one thing about the PlayStation. It gives you a bit more freedom to personalize what you want. So the Steam Deck, I really hope it does well. If it's more expensive, I mean, not the Steam Deck, but the Steam box, if it does
Steam
well,
Cube, whatever they call it.
whatever you want to call it, if it does well, that's great. But if it's priced more than the Steam Deck, I'm not buying it.
I mean, no word of a lie, I can see this being priced no cheaper than $14.99. And that's going to be entry level.
I think that if they really, really, really want to start off low, I think that the cheapest they're willing to go would probably be 800.
The bigger thing,
that's hopeful thinking.
yeah, the big thing to remember with consoles, guys, is that the console manufacturers they actually lose money on the consoles. They don't make money on the consoles.
Yeah.
They really don't. I mean, there's been so many consoles that they've created in the past that they actually flogged at a loss because they knew full well they would make it up in terms of revenue sales for the video games or the services or whatever else down the line. But the actual consoles themselves, they notoriously used to lose money over. Hand over fist.
Yeah, and the thing is about consoles, though, is a lot of people don't realize this, is consoles are more of a not everybody can own computers. Computers are expensive. Yeah. But if you want to play and play a long time, whenever you want, et cetera, this is where the consoles come in. Consoles are cheaper. Consoles, they're cheaper. They're easier to play on if you're not great with PCs and whatnot. Hello, Furious Dan. How you doing, sweetie?
You're right, Dan. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I covered the Game Awards with Dan. So that was unfortunately, though, I had to echo the entire time. But yeah, consoles are basically for casuals and people who can't afford PCs, but that really, really, really want to play the games. I mean, we first started off with aside from PCs, naturally, most of us gamers started off with Nintendo, Atari, SNES, Coleco, and arcades, even though an arcade isn't console, but it's what introduced us to games that would later go onto console. The Sega Genesis, the GameCube. I mean, all those were all great for regular gamers, especially regular gamers that had no interest in a PC, period. And the low cost for them is what enabled them to get into gaming, to get consoles. It was an entry. It was console gaming is like an entry fee for gaming. You want to know what gaming is like? Get a console. If you want to
there's a lot less. Yeah,
there's more games. Do you want to get more out there? Well, guess what? We now have that game on PC, and if you already own that PC, you buy the game in the PC instead. So
there's a lot less barrier to entry.
So consoles are more of a it's a cheaper option, and PlayStation is one of the top ones out there, because of all the things that you can do to it and with it, and it also gives you the option of having the PS5. That is, it gives you the option of having the disc version, or you can just go complete digital. The digital was, of course, cheaper, but not by much. You got to admit, I think it was only like about $50 less or something like that. But not by much. And then later on, they came out with a disc drive that you can attach to the digital PlayStation if you wanted to.
Yep.
Which, when I found out about that, I thought to myself, why do that when you could have just kept with the disc, the physical version? You know, because with the physical version, you can do digital and disc. So why put out a digital and then put out a separate disc attachable to it? There's no point. It negates the point of having just a digital one. And then, of course, PlayStation themselves, they also have a VR helmet. They also have a portable device, again, semi, because it's kind of like the Portal. Theirs is kind of like the Portal. Personally, I would love to see another PSP. That was my favorite. And then, of course, you have the Xbox, which Microsoft doesn't really have much going for it. I think, personally, Microsoft, the only thing that's keeping it afloat is Game Pass.
Yeah.
If they didn't have Game Pass, I think the Series X would be trash. I mean, it is trash, but
it is already trash anyway. Let's face it.
Yeah, it's already trash. The Series shit. That's what it is. But if they had gotten rid of Game Pass, people would have stopped buying their stuff a long time ago.
Game Pass is the only reason you buy an Xbox. That is literally the only reason you buy it.
Yeah, and now you can get Game Pass on a computer, on your laptop, or anywhere else. So it's no longer console exclusive. So, and I believe Microsoft themselves said we intend on easing out of the console business and sticking with computers.
Yep.
Which is okay on their behalf, sure, but a lot of games they're going to be getting for Game Pass are also going to show up on Steam.
Yeah.
Because they won't have their own console anymore, so they're going to show up on Steam rather than Game Pass. Game Pass keeps getting expensive more and more.
I mean, fundamentally, they're going to have to, as a publisher as well, they're going to have to release games on multiple platforms, because this era of exclusivity really needs to end, in my view, because exclusivity back in the 2000s and 2010s used to be a big swinging dick in terms of whose console was better. Oh, I've got Spider-Man on my console. Who cares? Guys, if you want to make business sense and make money, get rid of the exclusivity and put your stuff on every single platform. Cover all bases, And in terms of Xbox, yeah, it's just scrap the Xbox. What's the point? The
Yeah.
X even historically, the Xboxes have always been kind of like that PC-like, infrastructure. So
Yeah.
just go back to your roots, guys.
Yeah,
Start
they
making
have.
money again.
The thing is, though, is that because of that PC-like infrastructure, PlayStation picked up on it, which again
Yep.
put them ahead because now the PS5 is like a PC, but it's a console instead. It's
Yeah.
built like a it's built like a PC. It's built like a computer. Um, it's built like what the Steam Deck, I mean, Steam Box will be, but
Well, fundamentally, there's not much difference between the
yeah,
Xbox and the PlayStation 5.
yeah, just
Same
one has more power.
AMD, yep, same AMD processors, same AMD GPUs. One's just overclocked more in one area, and one's
Yes,
got more memory in a different area.
yeah. So
But fundamentally, it's
PlayStation
the
is
same thing.
yeah. So PlayStation has finally become more PC like,
Mhm.
improved the way they build things. Um, they're more powerful now,
Yep.
and they first started to. I mean, they first started to really, really, really make their way into the console wars with the PS2.
Yeah, because
Uh,
that was that the emulation engine? Not emulation engine. Was that Dolphin on that one? The chip name? I
uh,
think that was PowerPC that they were basically running on that one.
Not quite too sure,
I'm gonna
but
have to look.
PlayStation 2 was one of their best systems, and a lot of people don't know this, but unlike Microsoft
Emotion
and
engine.
such.
That was it. Not emulation engine. Emotion engine.
Oh, okay. But a lot of people don't know this, but PlayStation, all of their systems have a 10-year life cycle.
Yeah.
They just release more and more systems to keep up with others,
Yeah, it's planned
to keep up with
obsolescence.
competition.
Yeah, they bake in planned obsolescence into their life cycle, so that one they can always make sure that they can sell a new console within 2 years. And it used to be always kind of like a 2 year lifespan. You'd see another console being announced, and then 2 years later it'd arrive on your doorstep. So there's always
Mhm.
this planned obsolescence that the console they released 2 sessions ago. Say the most recent one being a PlayStation 5. So PlayStation 3 was okay up until the PlayStation 5 dropped. And then as soon as the PlayStation 5 drops, PlayStation 3 drops off, drops away. And then you've still got your PS4, which you can still use to a degree, as well as your PlayStation 5. And it will happen again with PlayStation 6. PlayStation 5 will still be relevant. PlayStation 6 will be the flagship. PlayStation 4 will fall away.
Yeah, and the only sad thing is, though, is whereas Xbox had backplay
Mhm.
for so long, they were ahead of the curve for that. It
Yeah.
took the PlayStation 5 to introduce backplay compatibility, which is a real shame because the PS3, in its early days, when it first came out, it had backplay compatibility, but then they got rid of it, which is something they never should have. I mean, they never should have gotten rid of it, but they did. That was a big mistake on their behalf.
Which
Um,
which one was one of them didn't natively do it, it emulated it. I can't remember whether it was the PS3. I
I
think
don't think so.
one of them emulated the earlier console, which is why some games never used to run as well.
Yeah, it was the PS3.
Yeah.
Uh, but I mean, you would think that the PS4 would have done it as well, but no, the PS4 relied on PlayStation Plus, which is where PS5 comes in. Now that relies on PlayStation Plus. You can play PS3 games on it. You can play PlayStation 2, but you got to stream them instead.
Yeah.
PS4 physical disc, it's backplay compatible, which I absolutely adore because I have tons of PS4 games and they're all on disc. all for physical media, so I play those on my PS5 a lot. As for the PlayStation 6, I'm looking forward to seeing what they have planned for that. Because I don't know if it's going to be a stronger build with like better with like a better drive, or I don't know if they continue to have if they'll continue to have backplate compatibility. I hope they
Yeah.
will. Um, if they know their lesson, I hope they will. Will they come out with VR again? Who knows? Because their VR headsets have historically not sold very well at all. They usually end up as paperweights, from what I understand. So I don't, and if they did, it would be the PlayStation VR headset 3, I think, because they've only had two, one for the PS5 and one from the PS4. So it would be the third
Yeah.
one, the VR3 or whatever you would want to call it. And I honestly don't think those would do well because, like I said, historically, the VR headsets for PlayStation have not done well. Um, hand wise, I mean, portable wise, I think they might stick to their Portal like one. If they do come out with another, there has been rumor that if they do come out with another, it'll be more like the original PSP. And if that's the case, I'm all for it. I'll be one of the first people to buy it. I'll be there like, take my money. Sadly, though, when it came to their portable games, they messed that up with the PSP Go and the PlayStation Vita.
Yeah. The cleverness with some of them though, with the little mini discs, they were superb. Just to have a kind of like wallet full of these little tiny UMD discs.
Yeah,
They did feel good.
I have a couple of imported games on UMD disc that I played on my PSP, and to this day, I still make sure that I have a fresh battery so that I can still use it. And I am very meticulous. I am very, very touchy about my electronics. Nobody touches my electronics but me. You do, you get your hand smacked. I'm very strict with my electronics. I really am.
Yeah.
But I hope the Steam Deck. I'm kind of curious as to how much they're going to upgrade that as far as Steam goes. Because they had the first one and then they had the OLED. I wonder if any improvements could make it even more desirable. Because I think it's already pretty pricey, current price range wise.
Yeah, and I can't see prices improving at all. I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's scaling now, and especially modern PC components, modern components required for some of the new consoles. RAM prices have skyrocketed to a point where you probably won't even be able to build a decent PC at the minute. You're better off just buying one that's pre-built because the cost of the RAM is abhorrent right now. I mean,
Yeah,
you look at the memory that I've got in my PC. In order for someone to buy that right now, it's going to cost you $2,000. It's just insane.
Yeah, it is. But like for the Steam Deck, for the regular LCD version, you got like roughly $400 to $500 to pay, maybe like $400 to $550 or so to pay, based on the amount that you want. And then of course, you have your OLED, which can range all the way up to $700. And they want to charge more for the Steam box, which is
Yep.
built like a PC, but with the base specs of, but with the specs of a base PlayStation 5, and they're going to want to charge more. So I don't see that being a good idea. I don't see that being a very good. I don't see that being very smart. And Steam has made a lot of bad decisions recently.
Yeah, they have.
But then again, they're not the only ones who have.
The,
Xbox, PlayStation, they've all made a bunch of bad decisions, especially Nintendo. Oh my God, their
yeah.
Switch 2 is absolutely horrible.
I called the Switch 2 from the get go, and people call me an idiot. And I laugh to myself now because all I said originally was looking at the specs of the Switch 2, it's nothing more than a Switch 1, just slightly overclocked with a better dock. And the only time you can properly do 4K is when it's in the dock, and you're going to be limited to 30 frames a second. And lo and behold, what actually got delivered? Exactly that. It's not worth the money it's bloody pumped out at. It really
Yeah.
isn't.
And I mean, like, look at how screwed over people got. Their systems were getting bricked,
Yep.
overpricing, barely any games. And the games that they do have on there are pretty crappy as it is. And they do backplay for a lot of their Switch One games. But then again, those Switch One games can also get your system bricked.
Yeah, and the other thing that absolutely flabbergasted me is this situation where you're buying a new console, you expect new games to come. But no, what they're expecting you to do is play the old games in a better frame rate than they were originally released at.
Yeah, and on top of
That's
that, you
it.
have the key cards.
Yep.
And it's like, why would I want to go out and buy all this packaging, this little thing for a key card? Why would I want to do that? It makes no fucking sense. I mean, I would think that Nintendo would be smarter than that, considering that they've been in the game from the very beginning. But they just seem to get dumber every year.
Yep.
Which brings us, but it is what it is. I mean, but then again, as far as the future goes, we don't, like I said, everybody here has made mistakes. The PlayStation, Steam, Xbox. Steam, their mistake is most likely going to be the pricing that they have. Steam box is off the specs for the Steam box. I personally think it's a mistake of what they're doing there. They really should have, if they want to get into the competition and take down consoles as well as other PCs, well, then they should have made better specs. They should have given it a better build. Or
Yep.
they should
I'd
just
agree.
rely, or they should just stick with the Steam Deck. That is my opinion as far as those go.
Yeah. Yeah, it just there's just too much of a leap on this new technology. It's not gonna be favorable to people's wallets. It's not gonna deliver what people are expecting in terms of price to performance. It's gonna be too expensive for what it does. And let's face it, it's gonna be nothing more than a glorified Xbox
Yes,
or
it is.
PlayStation 5. I mean,
Eh,
in a smaller, nicer form factor, and quite
Yes,
possibly the VR may be good enough, but still, it's you're paying a lot of money. You're going to pay, I would say, 3 times more for that Steam Cube box, whatever, than you did for the PlayStation 5. And yeah, whilst you've got a much bigger whilst you've got a massive library in comparison to anything else, and that could be the appetite. That could be the appetite. It's not going to be value for money. Nowhere near it.
and that's one thing is I understand that they want to get into the VR market, like Meta and stuff. Um, But the thing is, though, is in my opinion, VR games are just they're just a gimmick because there's not a lot of them out there. VR makes a lot of people sick, and it's also not a lot of fun. I tried to do VR gaming one time. I didn't even last 1 minute because I immediately started to get too dizzy. My head started to spin. I had to take it off. So there's a lot of VR games out there's for what VR games there are out there, they're not very good.
Yeah.
I mean, you have yet to hear of them making their ways into any game awards ceremony or anything like that. They're not there. They're not listed. And for good reason. So I personally think that stepping into the area of VR headsets is, in my opinion, dumb. PlayStation shouldn't have done it either. If they wanted to do something like that, then they should have done like with the Wii, like with the PlayStation had and such. The hand remotes, they should have just stuck with that. That would have been fun. That would have been fine. The PS3 had them. The PS4. I don't know if the PS4 did it as well for the hand remote, but those were actually legit. I mean, you didn't need a VR headset to work with those.
Yeah, but they also had things like the Kinects and the PlayStation Eye and things like that for tracking and playing that way.
Yeah, but then again,
there were more fads. They hit and miss. There was nothing to really do with them.
Well, yeah, but then again, it gave the camera more than just one use because the camera also served for back for the PlayStation. It served as a camera for whenever you were in chat, people could see you.
Yeah.
So the cameras for PlayStation at least had more than one use. Now for the PS5, you can't use it in chat, but you can use it to bring yourself up on screen. But you just can't do it in chat rooms or anything like that. Which is sad. Because that was fun doing. Because back when that was my friends, we could do like a little show and tell of games that we had just bought and whatnot. Instead of just saying, oh, hey, yeah, I got that. Oh, really? Proof. Okay, well, here's the box. But yeah, will they continue doing cameras? Yeah. But question is, though, is the Steam box, is that going to bring out its own camera as well? They never said.
No, see, the thing is with that, I reckon they're just going to have the functionality where you can just add whatever camera you like, because it's going to be so PC orientated that the drivers would just probably naturally support a camera plugged in by USB. That would be the smart move.
Yeah, I can see that. Speaking of games, let us move on to the next topic for the future of gaming. Now, based on what we had these past couple years, we've seen a lot of ideology games. None of them did well for that very reason. You stick ideology or you stick representation in games or whatever that people don't care about, they don't want to see, it's not going to sell well. And well, Ghost of Yotei is a great example.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed Shadows, another great example.
Very good example.
You start doing, and then of course, another one, Dustborn.
Concord.
South of Midnight. Avowed.
Yep. Across the border. They've all got the same thing, though. They're trying to force a narrative that no one agrees on.
Yeah.
They're trying to force something on people that the general population does not agree on. and they're targeting a demographic that doesn't even care about video games.
Yeah.
So they are just losing money hand over fist. They end up having to shut up the studios because they lose so much money. People get out of their jobs. All the while, whoever they're contracting or hiring to discuss the next way forward, sweet baby stink, get away scot free and make their money.
Black girl gamers.
Yep.
But I don't think they took into realization that gamers are very hard to please. You do not want to mess with gamers. We are very set in our ways.
Oh,
You
but
mess
actually,
with you mess with our ways, we will let you know you will take the punishment. And they have suffered greatly.
I would say we're the opposite. I would say gamers are very easy to please. Just give us what we know and love.
Yeah,
Give us
that's
a
well, that's
game
what
that plays as a game that's exciting, that takes us away from the mundane, the exploration, the escapism. Don't
what I mean by
shoehorn crap. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
what I mean by is we're hard to please because we expect a good
Correct.
game. We
Correct.
expect a good story. We expect good characters. We expect good gameplay, sound, everything. We want a good game. Give us what we want. We will give you our business. What we want is an escape from reality. Fun. This is what gamers are all about. We just want to have fun. Give us something that'll be fun for us to play. Give us something that we want to buy because it looks great. And so far this year and last year, that hasn't really been the case. With the exception actually of this year and, with the exception of a few games here and there that have started to turn the curve. Stellar Blade, Lost Soul Aside, Black Myth Wukong,
Fallen Feathers.
Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, Silent Hill F. This year shows that things are changing.
Yeah.
It won't be changing fast. It won't be changing very quickly or anything, but they're starting to change. They are starting to bring back retro games. They are starting to remove ideology from them. They're starting to realize that, hey, we can romance a character. We don't mind romancing a character. I mean, look at Mass Effect. But, make it so that, it's obvious. Bring it back to the way it's obvious, not in an ideology way.
Yeah.
Which is like that one game. Oh my God, I can't remember. Hypnotic made a great character out of it.
Oh, Dragon, but Veilguard.
Yeah, McDuggins. The birth of McDuggins.
Yeah. The ugliest character this side of the world.
Yes, and Veilguard is another example of a game that should never be the way it was.
No. I mean, just the very notion you're in a fantasy world and there are zipper tits. It's like, this is a world full of magic, monsters, and in it, rather than just going to a wizard and just getting a spell of change sex, you decide to lob off your tits. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it's
with
ideology at its worst.
Yeah, they add in surgery, scars.
I mean, this is the other thing. So you're in a video game where you can be male or female. If that's the case, why would you choose a male character and give it zipper tits? Why not just choose a male character and just be done with it? Because if that's what you want to be, that's fine, fair enough. We don't give a shit. We literally don't give a shit that the fact that you're a dude and you want to play a female character, or you're female and you want to play a male character. Just don't put this bullshit that doesn't need to exist, especially in a fantasy game.
Yeah, like we don't give a damn about pronouns. We don't want to hear a character go, I want to be referred to as they, them, or anything.
I don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care about sex, religion, race, creed, any of that bollocks.
Yeah,
we just want to play a game that gives us the escapism, tells us a bloody good story, one that we can invest in terms of the world and the characters, and makes us feel something other than freaking despair at the fact that, oh, it's another game that's shoehorning the fact that I'm bad because I'm fucking white and male.
And I think this wake up call that came the biggest wake up call of all happened at the Game Awards.
Yep.
Clair Obscure Expedition 33. That is how you make a game. That is what people wanted. Not almost, in every category Clair Obscure was in, it took the trophy. Western game companies, wake up. This is what we want. We want great characters. We want great, meaningful story. Give us what we want, and you'll get our business. Yeah. It's all we're asking for. Tides of Annihilation, which is coming out. Okay, that's going to have a female protagonist. So what? Who cares? Stellar Blade had a female protagonist. Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, female protagonist. Did they turn out to be Mary Janes? No, but are they well-written characters? Yes, yep. As far as we can tell.
Yep.
As far as Tides of Annihilation, have they shown her to be anything other than a strong character? Do they show her to be a Mary Jane? So far, no. From what we've heard of conversations with those characters, do we hear any of that ideology, or do we hear them talk about pronouns or anything like that? No, we don't. Body type AB. Okay, yeah, I can live with that because a lot of games in the past have said body type AB. So I'm going to let that slide because that's, like I said, in the past, that's been like that for certain games. Way before ideology, way before pronouns, all that stuff. A lot of games have had AB instead.
Do you know what pisses me off the most about AB is when games like World of Warcraft clearly have male and female. When they started, it was male and female, and then halfway through his life cycle of expansion number 5 is suddenly body type A, body type B, because they're bending over to people who do not care about the product. And that's what pisses me off, because it's like, I've loved World of Warcraft ever since it was created. Now, some of the expansions have been worse than others, but at no point in time did we ever need to have body type A and B in a fantasy land where it is going to be male or female or dragonkin or otherwise. I mean, it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
And then, of course, bending the knee to people who are whining and complaining that aren't going to play the game. Yep. Like Stellar Blade, people wanted censorship.
Yep. God damn that hard R.
The hard R, her outfits. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, the world is not going to explode over her outfits. And of course, even Silent Hill 2 remake, it got a minor censorship there. The character oh God, the character models when they were redone.
Yep.
That one character model that had black hair, how she looked like a really chubby character. Oh God. And then of course you have Resident Evil Requiem. That's coming up. They fixed some lighting in certain areas and removed certain things because the game was too scary. Journalists said the game looked too scary.
Yeah, but we all know that most journos are freaking limp anyway. Yeah. They can't play the games. They need them in easy mode just so that they can bloody play.
Yeah,
and play it for 5 minutes, and they think that they know everything about the game. It's pathetic.
Yeah, like with Black Myth Wukong, they said, "Oh, there's barely any women in there." And it's like, dude, play the game. There's tons of women in there, and they're all very beautiful.
Yep.
So it's like, the last year and the year before that and stuff, games had just started to shit, had started to go on to shit. But now we've been coming around with Stellar Blade, slow change. We have other changes coming up like Mouse PI, Samurai Pizza Cats. That's a cool game that looks like a cool game. But then of course, we still have those stragglers here and there that are going to be a pain in the ass, like Metroid 4, with the whole Samus Aran has to be trans.
Yep.
Get that idea out of your head. Samus has always been a female since day one. You don't like it? Don't buy the damn game. But like I said, luckily, things have been starting to change. We take a look at Phantom Blade Zero. So far, nobody's complaining about the character being male. So far, Mega Man Dual Override. Since it was just announced, it's had nothing but hype for it. Mario Kart, I don't know why, but there was a lot of complaining over Mario Kart just because some characters were missing. But that is some very picky gamers, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot to look forward to. Personally, I think we're finally going to start seeing some change. Will we see a lot of change? I think it's still going to be quite a while before we see all the damage that came from past games erased to actually getting good games. But that is my opinion. I don't know what you guys in chat think. I don't know what your opinion is, Tombi.
Well, the thing is that my opinion is exactly the same. I mean, I think most honest gamers are going to have very similar feelings and very similar opinions as ourselves in terms of how certainly the last few years have gone in terms of games. What we're seeing now, tables turning, and hopefully a return to normality. I mean, I've seen more successful games released this year than the last 5 years combined. And in this last year, we've had games that have definitely stirred away from the ideology and delivered absolutely fantastic gameplay, fantastic stories. We've had a couple that have come in with the ideology and fell on their faces. So I think generally, from the chat's perspective, and from the chat's perspective, and certainly from my perspective, we're all on the same hymn sheets. We're all on the same hymn sheets.
Yeah, one thing though that was really sad, like for the game Wu Chang Fallen Feathers,
Yeah.
it had a lot of complaints story wise. So they practically removed the story. They changed the history of the characters and everything. So bosses don't get killed, they just get tired and stuff. So when it comes to the game, you're basically wandering around. You don't know what the hell's going on. So it's like you come across a boss. Okay, great. Why do I have to fight this boss? Is there
it makes no
actual reason?
sense.
Yeah.
It makes zero sense. It's like if the goal is to defeat an all singing evil, then fine, we can understand it. But if the goal is just to run around, defeat a boss, and then that boss is there, nothing happens. It's like, well, where's the consequence? Where's the reward? What's the point?
Yeah, exactly. Then you have, like free to play games, some of them which are actually better than games that you have to play. Like, I was surprised, but I was actually upset with this one. Where Winds Meet. I had high expectations for this one. I really did. But
a few people have said this to me.
but they had this habit of time gating.
Yeah.
You can get as far as you can into the campaign, and then they'll say, stop. You can't enter, you can't do the rest of this campaign unless you're such and such level, and until we add it after this date. That happened to me the first couple of times I played it. They said, stop, you can't go any further until you're level 50 and until it's after Thanksgiving. So I was stuck, doing nothing but side missions and, trying to see if anybody was willing to do co-op. But a lot of the people that I know don't want the game because for the sheer fact that it is free to play. Now, do we have good free to play games out there? Yeah, we do. Of course we do. But do a lot of them want to play it? No, because it has free to play, which is a real shame because so many of them have gotten that reputation due to cosmetics or time gating, which is really, really sad. I mean, you have your few which are actually pretty good, Genshin Impact, Warframe, the Marvel Rivals. So it's kind of sad to see when you see that happening, but I'm glad to see that the future of gaming is starting to change, especially with what we saw at the Game Awards. Not a single game that had to do with ideology won an award.
Yeah.
Which I thought was awesome. I mean, yeah, there were a couple of bullshit wins, but you could tell that those bullshit wins were the ones that would be paid. Like the Nintendo wins, like how it came to the best family game was given to, I believe, Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it was.
Now, now that I can see happening because Nintendo, they're the kings of family games. And Donkey Kong was as simple gets. It pissed me off that it won, but it was still understandable, and I had no problem with it. Now, when it came to the best racing game, so far, Sonic Crossroads has been sweeping the gaming world by storm when it comes to Mario Kart.
Yep.
People are having a blast with Crossroads. I want to get Crossroads, but I just don't have the money for it yet. And when people heard that Mario Kart was the winner, you could actually hear a few boos in the audience.
And I would agree with them as well, because the Sonic game is far superior.
Yeah, and Gamer Nerd Scale brought up a very good point about where winds meet. There is a particular item you can get, what is called the Mirage Boat, and that costs $40,000.
And one person has it.
One person has it. And it's really just, hey, look, this is what I have and you don't. And what can the other players do? They can visit the boat, try on all the outfits that the person who owns the boat has, and that's really the only other purpose it is. It's a show boat.
Yeah.
Anybody who actually spends that money and then forgets about the game, it's your fault because you are out of $40,000. You are an idiot. So it is absolutely insane but when you have free to play games such as Warframe. Okay, personally this is one of the free to play games that I absolutely adore because they have transactions done right. Now, naturally, they have the ability where you can go out and get silver, which is in-game money that you need which is the money that you need to buy certain things. You can get silver from a store, pay with your credit card or whatever to get 10 and so forth. Or you can earn the item that you want, and if you get all the pieces to the item that you want, you can then go to a fan-made website that is absolutely legit, no rip-offs or anything. You can put it up for sale and people will buy it from you. In exchange, they'll give you the silver. Or there's a trading channel in the game where the chat is, and people will offer special types of Warframe characters and whatnot, and trade you for you can sell and trade and stuff. So they have a very good system in that.
Yeah. Ashton's got a question for you in chat.
Yes. Ashton, yes, you can. I would highly appreciate it. I have a very small library as it is. I have like next to no games. So I think I only have like 5 games in Steam because everything else is either a demo or used for streaming. I'm sure Zalosi, my mod, can provide you with my Steam information if that is how you wish to do it. But yeah, mobile games, those are horrible. I'm sorry, mobile games are bad.
Yeah.
I don't see why people.
I've never spent any time playing mobile games with the exception of Blizzard's Warcraft Rumble, which I played for all about 20 minutes, and then I stopped. And then it reminded me why I don't play mobile games.
Yeah. And Warframe Market is the online website that I mentioned that was created by fans. And Gamer in Our Scale brings up a very good point. This is why I quit online and mobile games, because the microtransactions can get insanely expensive. And really, that is the only purpose that the mobile games have, is when you have the games, that is really the only purpose they serve, is make money through the microtransactions. That's all they care about. When it comes to mobile gaming, the only thing I've ever done as far as games go for mobile gaming, I use puzzle games because I get bored. So I'll start playing games like Tetris, or I'll be playing a game of solitaire. That's normally as far as I go. So it's nothing I have to pay for or anything. They're just classic games that I would play on a PC. So those are like the only, so classic puzzle games and stuff where you don't need to buy or anything. Those are probably the only things. But yeah, as far as gaming goes, I hope, I mean, Destiny as well, they tried to get into the mobile side, but unsuccessful. So instead they do have an app where you can move around all your gear from and that is useful. That is useful.
Yeah, Blizzard did exactly the same. So back in expansions like Legion and Warlords, used to be able to send you kind of like your followers off on missions to earn very similar credits that you had in game, and it worked, and people were using it. But the problem is that it's very one-dimensional. It doesn't give you the sense of achievement factor, so they just end up binning it in the end. They can work, kind of like these apps where they're in-game helpers, and especially when you look at inventory management. I mean, look at Baldur's Gate 3. I used to spend probably the first hour of any stream just sorting out what mess was in the inventory, whereas give me an app that I can run on my phone for Baldur's Gate inventory management, perfect. I can do it in my off time when I'm just having a cup of tea. Doesn't need to interrupt the actual gameplay. Or get AI to sort it for me.
Yeah, you can always get AI to do it. Yeah, segue to the next
good,
one.
Wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
superb.
You are the king. I mean, you've been around for a while. So the games and AI, is AI really a threat to gaming? What do you think?
So I don't think it's a threat to games themselves. I think what it is a threat to bad practices. It's going to basically be leveraged, and any clever developer or studio. I mean, the thing is, I use openly. I use AI daily for work, and I get it to do 80% of the work, so that I can work on the 20% of the complex issues, and work on the important tasks. So when you're looking at AI as a tool to achieve work, I can see that it's going to get rid of things like lazy design, any forms of shallow content, and used responsibly. Obviously, you can make games incredibly deep, more responsive, and not less. So I don't think AI is going to be in this position where it's going to replace developers or players or anything like that. But what it should be used for, and the cleverer devs and studios will use it to raise the ceiling of what both can create in terms of the artificial intelligence and procedural generation. You're looking at NPCs with better mechanics. Arc Raiders is probably one of the best examples of where they've utilized AI correctly. All of the voice acting is AI in it. All of the NPCs in terms of the actual robots within Arc Raiders are all trained by AI to navigate and to interrogate and to interact with players. And they're getting smarter all the time, because as we're playing these video games, the AI is constantly learning and learning better approaches to win. So you're getting a better gameplay overall. We know that NPCs over the course of certainly the last 20, 30 years have all been basically scripted routines and predictable triggers that react to basically our behavior. Yes, they can remember past interactions and adapt tactics and dialogue. But the problem is it doesn't lead to a game that feels alive. And as a result, you tend to get this situation where the AI is kind of like destroyed the gameplay. But it's like Gaming Earth says, as long as it's used correctly and appropriately, AI is okay. Yeah, and this is the point. It's got to be used correctly. One of the things, certainly because of the space that I work in, and I work in enterprise asset management at big pharma levels, oil and gas banks, and whatever. And it's one of the important things I always say to these businesses when I'm going in as a consultant, and I turn around and say, AI is a tool to make your staff's life easier. Think of all of that administrative crap that you have to deal with on a daily basis. AI can get rid of all of that. So these people are now released to work on what's important: serving the customers, creating new innovation, raising the ceiling of quality, doing the necessary testing. I mean, how many games have we seen over the last 5 years that, as soon as it's landed in the hands of the players, we're having day zero patches because they haven't been able to achieve the quality control? Now AI is able to run that quality control at such a level, at a faster level and a more competent level, that at no point in time going forward should we see this situation where games are broken, they're being exploited on day one, whereas a game hits like they used to. And it would be remiss of me to say that obviously AI's biggest contribution is going to be smarter and more believable worlds, NPCs, and whatever. They can assist in the animation, variations of environments. We're seeing procedurally generated environments being used in video games all the time. AI is not going to disappear. It's people's reticence to use AI or recognize it for what it is, and it is nothing more than a tool. If people see it as a replacement, you're standing in the wrong position. You need to step back and look at the wider picture. It's nothing more than a tool. If you believe it to be a replacement, then you're not using it correctly. You're not approaching it correctly. And any business that does that, I hope they suffer the consequences.
I think that AI is pretty much, I think it can help, but at the same time, it doesn't. I agree with you on many of your aspects. It's a good way to refine a lot of gameplay. I think if they rely on AI for the voice acting, though, that's a horrible idea. That
I disagree. Now,
well,
obviously,
I mean, because you can, and I say it for the following reason: there are times in a game where a character will require a lot of emotion. And I honestly, from what I've seen from certain games, not all, but from certain games that use AI, the emotion isn't there. There's no way to connect to the characters because the AI did a poor job. Now, if they're using the AI to refine gameplay, such as reaction time and such, that I can understand. Using AI to refine the scenery and everything, the graphics and whatnot. I think that's kind of a double-edged sword because there it is up. The job is up to the people who are responsible for those graphics. It is their job to make things look good, not the job of an AI. And to use AI for that, that's just lazy and it's bad for the game.
so one of the things I want to hinge on is yes, you are correct in certainly in my opinion, you're correct in some of the assumptions. You look at Amazon's most recent anime that they dubbed into English with AI. Absolutely phenomenal failure. It was absolutely devoid of any form of emotion whatsoever. But this then leads to this whole new realm of jobs that are out there and careers out there as prompt engineers. That these guys that understand how the AI works and can construct a prompt to give it the emotion, to give it the intonation, to give it the mannerisms within the speech. And if you listen to kind of like the voice acting in Arc Raiders, which is obviously the example from earlier, every single voice, including the NPCs, including the cutscenes, they are all AI. There is not one spoken voice by any actor. And most people wouldn't even realize it because it does carry the necessary emotion. But you have to understand the AI engine that's replicating or constructing the voice because otherwise you end up in that situation which you're describing, a soulless husk of speech, which is no better than text to speech, which anybody can put into Google Chat and whatever and get it to spit out in the voice of American Susie or whatever, English Bob. And it has no soul to it. But that doesn't mean that all AIs scripted the same or all prompt engineers are doing the same thing. It really comes down to the skill in the person that's using the AI.
Yeah, it's but then again, it also, when it comes to AI, it also has related to jobs. It
Yes.
can very easily cause job loss. Um, Companies can see that, oh, AI can do the exact same thing that voice actors can do, therefore, we don't need voice actors. AI can do graphics even better than this person's. Okay, so we can cut down on people who do graphics. AI can do better things in this engine, so we'll change the engine, downgrade it, and expect the AI to do the work for the upgrading. I mean, as far as games go, it has its benefits, yes, but I think it's also a severe threat in the
It
fact that
has
it makes a lot of companies lazy when it comes to the games. It has its benefits for the gameplay, some voicing, but a lot of the voicing, like I said, the emotion isn't there. Um, and also, there are a lot of times where the AI, which is supposed to help you with the game, can actually cause a lot of problems that require patches.
AI. So obviously I'm using AI daily and I always refer to this kind of like 80-20 rule. Whereas get AI to do 80% of the work and then use your expertise to correct the 20% to make it 100. you're always going to have this situation where AI cannot fully replicate or create or generate or construct something that is ready for the wider audience. So whenever I'm using AI, I always refer to this 80-20 rule. Get it to do 80% of the work, but then spend your quality time on that 20%. Ultimately, you're going to be able to create a much better quality product with that focus on just that 20% rather than having to focus on the 100%. It gives rise to a quicker turnaround on productivity. But the problem is, we all know how finance teams works, and whether when you're looking at the likes of a finance team, whether it's in a major design studio or a platform, the second you give an opportunity for a finance team to cut costs, you know they're going to do it. So you are correct. It does give this opportunity of kind of like reducing manpower numbers, because if a finance team realizes that this AI can do 80% of the work, well, okay, so let's get rid of 80% of the workforce. That's not what you should be doing. And any company that does that should suffer the consequences. But we know full well that finance teams will try and find a way of reducing manpower with AI. Now, does that, when we're looking at businesses, let's look at the let's look at Twitter takeover by Elon Musk. So when Elon Musk took over, he basically shedded 80% of the company literally overnight. Did Twitter fall over? No. Did Twitter suffer as a result? Short term, it had a few issues, but stability was still fine. The product was still fine. Now we're seeing the same kind of like crossover between design studios, platforms, and whatever, where you've got a lot of built-in bureaucracy and a lot of positions that really don't need to be in the mix. So I can understand having this opportunity of streamlining a business or a sprint from development through to build to deployment through to finally a game landing on the shelves. But yeah, it's that fine line, Scoobs. It's that fine line where a finance team could severely destroy a business very easily by solely relying on the AI, rather than appreciating what the AI is. And it's a shortcut to success, but you've got to have the necessary people that are able to code the AI, to prompt the AI, and then run it past your experts in art, experts in coding, experts in story-driven, experts in audio design and everything else. It's a big risk, but for me, I still see it as a positive contribution that AI is bringing, but it's a slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope, and once you start sliding down, you're not going to stop.
Yep. And quick hello to Hey Toasty, how you doing?
Toasty!
Exactly.
How you doing, Toasty? Good to see you, sweetheart.
We all love it. No Toasty.
Yeah.
And also we have a
Ben.
2 months for member for 2 months. Bend over. Thank you, sweetie. That is awesome.
I like to refer as Ben as everybody's favorite uncle. Good to see you, brother.
Looking forward for more to come. I'm definitely looking forward for more to come from the good side of things.
Yes. Oh yeah,
definitely. Like for games, and I'm definitely hoping we get some good stuff from the tech wise. Looking forward for more to come from AI. That's so iffy.
Marcelo, you are correct. This is one of the problems that you've got. Whenever you got this kind of like AI process, now you've still got to look at it that not many people in schools are going to be exposed to AI in terms of what it's useful for. So computer sciences degrees and all sorts of stuff are at a much higher level. So when you're looking at kindergarten, junior schools, secondary schools, and things like that, the exposure to it is going to be very limited until you get into the higher college levels and universities. But critical thinking should be one of those things we are hitting from the ground up, and we're failing our kids. We're certainly failing our kids in the UK right now, because critical thinking comes. You should be teaching critical thinking to your children as young as toddlers. And we're not talking about the ins and outs of a devil's arsehole or really pushing high level critical thinking. You can actually explain critical thinking to very young children at a very young age in very simplistic terms. And it's a lot of it is the ability to discern right from wrong.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right, Marcelo. Good questions, by the way, my friend. Good questions and good points.
Yes, he is very good at that kind of stuff himself. I do believe, yeah. Like he said, speaking as a software developer, so he knows how to. He knows what he's. He knows. He's very good at what he does.
I want to check it. I want to check you out and see what you do. Has Marcelo got his own channel?
I'm not quite too sure. Marcelo, sweetie, do you have your own channel? Because if so, let me know.
I like to touch base with software developers and all sorts of stuff.
Yes. Okay, it's called The Son of Mars, and it's coming soon. I know Zolosi is going to be is working on his channel as well.
Fuck yeah, that's what I like to hear.
He's just doing some fine tuning for that.
Get yourself over to Rumble. Rumble's where it's at. I want to get more people over to Rumble, honestly. With the way YouTube is going, and funny old thing, we're talking about AI right now and the bad decisions. YouTube's AI moderation team is just a puddle of shit. 12 million channels were terminated last month alone.
Wow.
And the problem is you've got genuine creators, genuine channels being swept up in all of this. So anybody, for those that don't know, I've been streaming on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Twitter, Twitch for long enough. I've reduced it down to basically YouTube and Rumble. Twitch I find a cesspit of commies and Hassan Piker orbiters, and Kick is just severely retarded and full of view bots. So certainly ever since the creator program over on Rumble really kicked off, I've tried to get as many people involved in it as possible, because the creator program on Rumble is going to pay you out $250 just for ticking boxes each month. YouTube doesn't do that. It's insane. And the community I'm finding over Rumble is essentially where YouTube used to be 12, 15 years ago. So right on that cusp of really good communities, everybody helping each other, really good content, really good opportunities. Rumble's still growing, guys. And if I was to say there's 1,000 people, maybe 2,000 people watching the gaming section on Rumble, now you understand if you're one of the 10 or 20 or 30 people currently streaming a game, highly likely you're going to have front page features, you can have 200 people, 700 people. I mean, last week I had 700 people watching me play Final Fantasy 14 with the guys on a Sunday. I did one ad read, and it's like $18 paid into your bank. It's insane. Whereas YouTube, you have to bend over backwards for it. You have to bend over backwards.
Yeah.
If you've got any questions with regards to it, just give me a shout, guys. Just give me a shout. Anyway, AI.
Yes, he is 100%. He is 100% because, yes, Toasty, Problematic White Guy, Furious Dan, Stark of Iron, my wonderful producer. Even I have channels on Rumble. And Rumble, if you create a account or your own personal channel over on Rumble to stream, you are automatically monetized.
Yep, you're monetized from day zero. And it was actually, I'm gonna say it, Toasty, but I think it was basically my fault. You ended up jumping over to Rumble because I kind of like bullied a lot of the creators and said, guys, this is what's just come out of Rumble. Get onto it now. Do not miss the bus. And that was pretty much the words. Don't miss the bus. I don't want anybody to miss the bus. You're still in time if you want to jump onto Rumble. It's just getting better and better currently. They've just opened up Rumble Wallet, so you can actually get what's it called? Freaking cryptocurrencies paid into your accounts.
Yeah, I don't have much of a following on Rumble.
See, a lot.
I only have like about maybe 32 subs over there. I focus mainly on YouTube, which I'm trying to get to 600 subs. So spread the word, people.
I can pretty much guarantee anybody that wants to jump over to Rumble within a week, 2 weeks, I can get you 100, 150 people following based off your current content, because the community over on the Rumble side is very small in the creator frame. So whether it's podcasts, whether it's gaming, whether it's both, whether it's news, whatever you're doing, how-to guides, because I got into the mix at the right time, I've been introduced to a lot of people, and there's so many good creators there. And all you do, for anybody that's jumping over to Rumble, just jump in, like, share. The biggest thing is that repost button. That repost basically shares that person's content with your streams, with your followers and things like that. And straight away, so, I mean, I'm approaching 1,700 followers over on Rumble, and 1,000, almost 1,200 of those came in the last 6 months.
Oh, I always thought that Rumble was, still kind of in its semi-baby form. Because
now
there's...
it's maturity. Now, a lot of people don't realize that Rumble's been about for a good 13, 14 years. But its real maturity has sped up in the last 2 years. And even more so in the last 6 months and the last 3 months. They are pushing heavy into the investment within Rumble right now to get more people on it, because the likes of YouTube are shit in the bed. The likes of Twitch are doing so many things wrong. The likes of Kick are making massive mistakes. So you're bringing more people over to Rumble. You're making it more appealing or appetizing over on Rumble. And then you've got dickheads like me who create applications that work seamlessly with Rumble and do a lot more than what you're getting out of YouTube. Anyway, I'm freaking tangentially. It's all AI. It's all magic.
Toasty, we know she got demonetized on YouTube because of Alyssa. I dare not say her name actually, because that's bad luck. It's like it's like summoning Sonichu, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was demonetized by She Who Shall Not Be Named on YouTube. Which really sucked, but it kept her on Rumble, which is another good thing about Rumble is you don't have to worry about copyright. Like if you want to show
to a degree. So one thing to note: so you are less likely to get pinged for copyright over on Rumble, mostly because YouTube has built around this process of not getting sued by any of the major companies. So therefore, they have created the necessary AI algorithms to check your content to make sure there's no copyright content, and then inform the content owners. Whereas over on Rumble side, there is a copyright section, but the companies have got to manually go through and find it and then submit a DMCA. And they're not going to do it. They're too lazy to do it. So whilst you can stream anime, music, whatever else, I would certainly do that over on Rumble side rather than on the YouTube side, but they do have avenues for DMCA takedowns. They have to.
And with that, what you got coming up, sweetie?
Oh, what have I got coming up? Certainly sleep. I'm going to try and get some sleep. I've only had an hour's sleep today. But tomorrow I'm going to try and do my Sunday Spotlight, which is my show where I highlight small creators, small streamers on whatever platform, whether it's Rumble, YouTube, Kick, Twitter, Twitch. I really don't care. Take suggestions from the chat. We go check out their content. We see what they do, see what they can improve, see what they're doing that we can learn from. Because I like to see every day as a basically an opportunity to learn something. So whether it's down to overlays that a certain creator's using or the way that they're delivering some of their content, I like to take that away and share that with the rest. So Sunday Spotlight tomorrow, Final Fantasy 14 in the evening with Smooth the DJ and Mearden. Monday, some gaming with the wife. So the lovely Destiny's Bears, myself and her, we played World of Warcraft on a Monday. Tuesday for Team Play Tuesday for Marvel Rivals is our standard game. So if you've got Marvel Rivals and you want to come play, there's currently an 18 versus 18 mode, which is absolutely insane. It's hectic, but it's good fun. Wednesday for the Hump Day Chinwag, which is my podcast with the guys. We can have up to 12 people on this podcast at any one time. And it has got the longest intro this side of Friday Night Tights. Last week, our intro finished at 2 hours and 34 minutes. And we had then an hour worth of topics and memes. So, yeah, come and check us out. All the links are on Linktree, The Real Tombi. So thank you, Zalosi, for sharing that. But, of course, to Scooby Pup, thank you very much indeed for the invite, sweetheart. It's absolutely fantastic to spend time with you. And, yeah, loving your bits. Just keep on doing what you're doing. And anytime you want to come and chill, come and hang out, just let me know.
And of course, we have another super chat from King Monsters J with a simple little steak on it, which makes me want to eat the rest of the ribeye that I had last night. So thank you for that one, sweetie. I give you I'll give you a small little clip for that. We'll do a little shortened version of the sexy women. So thank you for that, sweetie. Absolutely love you for it. As for me, tomorrow I will be doing, I'll be hopping on to Silent Hill F roughly around 4 o'clock. I will definitely put some notices up on Twitter and on YouTube, and I'll double time with the notices. I'll let you guys know what time, and then I will put up posts again for how long it will be until I start. So yeah, keep an eye on Twitter and keep an eye on YouTube. I hope you had I hope you enjoyed this stream. Next weekend, Scooby Pups podcast at 5 p.m. Eastern. We have that darn kitty, one of my close friends.
She's awesome.
She is awesome. She is proof that cats and dogs can get along.
Yep.
As she said. So come and check that out. Also on Friday, for Scooby Pups Rough Views, yet another episode. Because I did a rough view of Has Been Hotel Season 1. Unfortunately, though, the rough view was so long. It was like 4 hours long. We had to chop it up into episodes. So the next episode will be Friday at 2 p.m. So come by and check out the video. Give it a watch. Give it a like. Leave a comment. Just like here. Once the stream is over, please refresh, leave a comment, please leave a like, subscribe. Let's try and get up there to 600 subs. That would be absolutely awesome if we could do that. I hope you guys have a great holidays. This I hope you guys are all having a great holiday month. Will I do a Christmas Eve show? Well, you know what? I'm just going to leave that up to the fans. If they want one, then I will grant them one for Christmas Eve. So thank you so much. Stick around. We're going to raid Tony when we go in there. Tell him SCOOBYPUP'S says he's stuck in the doghouse. So thank you guys. Have a great night. Thanks for coming in. It was awesome to see you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. Next weekend, we'll cook up something special as well with that darn kitty. So thank you. If you guys want to see any of the other streams, please check out my channel. Check out the playlist. They're all there. Game, rough views, and other podcasts. So thank you guys. You have a great night. Bye.
Take care, guys. Bye for now.